Hello, so this will be a new player guide, but it's also going to be part of the Let's Play because I want to show what I'm doing, but also explain the normal gameplay loop and some other things as well. So, first of all, let's do a little PvP mission. And then you'll see why I arranged my ship like this. This will destroy me, I'm sure. Those ships are the strongest ships. I think we have a Federation ship. You can choose your ship in the beginning of the game. And it's actually very hard to see that you can choose another faction. But it's okay, it doesn't really matter. Just modifies the layout of the ship. I think this is the pirate ship. The pirate ships are longer. The Federation ships are not as long, but a little wider. The way I designed my ship is to fire at the lasers. And you may be wondering, why the lasers? Why not something else? Well, simply put, the lasers don't have a lot of HP. Usually the enemy will make the crew members repair whatever is damaged, and they're very easy to destroy. So basically, you can destroy the lasers super fast, and then the enemy will do a lot less damage, and then all of the crew members will die, hopefully, and then you can just win the game very easy, hopefully. Because, again, any tactic will work as long as you have the appropriate means to do it. So it doesn't matter what tactic you use, if it's successful, use it. You don't want to win 100% of the fights, you just want to win about 80% of the fights anyway. So why is the design like this? Well, first of all, you'll never have enough room to put everything, so the teleporter, the gas, the mining, the gym, the academy, no space, nowhere to put them. Secondly, it depends on what tier you are, because it might be a little different based on the ship design and some other stuff, but as you can see, usually I put the unimportant stuff in the back. The fleet, the command center, the storages, the weapons, the engines. The engines I don't really use, but it's kind of like a good fallback when you don't have enough weapons online. The beds are over here. And this is the most important part, the armor. How does armor affect the game? It actually makes your rooms super resistant to damage. I went with this layout because it means that some of my rooms will have double armor protection, and the other rooms will even have armor from three sides. So this sector over here is the most well-defended part of the ship. So anyone who says attack the reactor, well, it might be problematic because the reactors might be super well defended. This one over here is also pretty well defended, and I can upgrade these parts even more over here. Now this engine over here is designed to create a combo. If you don't know what a combo is, well, it will give you a little bit of a boost if something is in a certain way. So this has 40% damage. Yeah. My mining laser has 40% extra damage over here. The shield, again, it might be a good idea to target the shield, but if the shield is also very well defended, it will be very hard to destroy it. Also, as you can see, I have no elevator, so in order to save some space, I dismantled the elevator, so that means they cannot move between the rooms. Kind of bad. The piloting skill will give you missile accuracy, and I will just leave that as it is. Over here, the bridge. Improving all missile accuracy on board. Yeah, again, it is what it is. It's not very clear, but I just have a pilot. It's a good idea to have a pilot in the bridge. And another important thing is that you will have to change your room sometimes. So before I log off, I remove one of the rooms and put the training room in here, or the academy. Depends on how you view things. Also, the research is super important, but that's a totally different topic. You'll just have to do a lot of research over time as well, to understand a little better. Again, I'll have to make other videos, and as I learn more about the game, I'll share it with you. But it's very important to research, so always research. I'm currently researching the rockets. Just the basic ones. The other ones are better, but they're more complex in a way too. So just don't overcomplicate things. Just play the way you like it. So, as you can see, this is the layout. Now let's speak about the AI a little bit, the AI of the rooms. So, my lasers will have set maximum power. Target enemy laser. Now this is a mistake. Sadly, there is no way to... For example, if a room is at 0 HP, you should have the option of... If current room is 0 HP, you should have the option of targeting another room. But there's no such options. As you can see, you just have... If enemy has shield, if enemy has no active shield. So don't really bother with that. As you can see, I just set max power to the laser and target enemy laser. As for the other rooms, they're just one of them will have maximum power for the missiles, but the other one will not have that one. Also, you can set cheapest item when you're dealing with missiles, because that means they'll use the cheapest item instead of using the more expensive ones or the more special ones. But that's basically all of my weapons currently. Very basic, not much to think about. Again, this is a mistake. I will change it, but I just left it like this because I don't have a better way to do it. And I'm also experimenting with the game a little bit more, but there's no way to do that. And most of the fights last only 2 minutes anyway. Now, about the crew members, this is very, very important. Most of them will repair the reactor, but you need 2 commands. Target the reactor if the current room HP is full, target origin room. So that means they'll go back, but that doesn't always happen. So these people over here will target this reactor. Now this reactor is almost indestructible. Well, I say that, but later it will be destructible. This reactor will be repaired by 6 people when it's needed. This reactor over here is kind of, because of the ship layout, this room over here is isolated, so no one can go in or out of this area, so this reactor will be a little less defended. But that's okay, because we have the other reactor. So with one reactor you can pour most of your weapons anyway, so don't worry too much about that. Also remember to use manual commands as well. So basically, some of the crew members should repair the reactor, but you should never put them in the same room as the reactor, because that means they'll get damaged as your reactor gets destroyed. So put them in another room, give them that command, and that's kind of like the basic for it. Now, when you're upgrading a character, what is the more important stats? It depends on how you want to build them, depends on with what stats they come along, but usually you would want weapon. Weapon increases the weapon of the current room they're in. Damage is for boarding or for combating your ship, so you don't really want that unless they are a dedicated boarder. So most of the time you'll go for weapon. This is the most important stat. But like I said, you also need the pilot. Science, I never really cared about science. I guess you might research 10% faster, so you might want to put the cat in the room for 18. If it works, that is. I don't know how that works, so I'll not really bother with that. If you know, let us know. So, let's upgrade the alien thingy as well. So this alien over here, as you can see, they don't have a lot of stats, but that's not important. They're built like a close combat specialist, well, just a combat specialist with accuracy and weapon. And as you can see, when you upgrade them, you will get research or training points, which is very, very important. Now, some characters will give you a ton of research points, some characters will give you a ton of training points. Training point reward on level up. Science will be for the science one. So, you'll also want some characters that are very good in training, but these are usually your throwaway characters. So I leveled up a lot of level 1 or 2 characters, or 1-star or 2-star characters, just because of that very reason. Also, you'll want to give some of your earlier crew members to the fleet. This is also a daily mission or stuff. And later we can give better crew members, but for now this is all we have. This image is so buggy. Okay, now. So I level up a lot of units, as you can see, and we'll probably just fire them, and this is how it should be. Sometimes you'll want to level up just normal units, so they'll give you training or science points, which you'll be using to train your characters, which will improve their stats. I think the leader was upgraded a couple of times, so let's see the leader stats. Friends, it's not very clear what we got as a training, but we did train a little bit here and there. And this is one part of the game that will be a little harder to understand, so that's why you should just train your characters that are always with you. And let's go to some more important tips over here. So the first time you buy a tier 5 character with $150, it will actually be a 5-star. So that's why I have a 5-star besides my captain, because that's the first character I recruited from that better tier. And this is kind of like the basics of the ship and how you should play it. Everyone else is 3 stars, you should not use 2 stars. Just use them when you don't have another option, and then when you have enough resources, just try and replace all of them with tier 3. So let me look at this guy. Oh yeah, the ninja. As you can see, the ninja has dodge, attack, and damage, and some weapons over here. So he's the best character to send on attacks on the enemy ships, but sadly we don't have any equipment. It's a little harder, the system is not very well explained. So without equipment will not really do much. But this is an example of a teleporting fighting character. And this is the example of just a normal character. Let me see. This will be the example of a character that is better suited for repairing, science, and some other stuff. So as you can see, the stats over here are pretty low. HP is pretty good. Mostly, so like I said, the best skill will be weapons, the second one will be HP, and then the third one depends on what you like. But you also need science and piloting crew members that you will level up, and then you'll just throw away into the cold space, the cold void of space. This technically is also just another character that should be a fighter, but if you can get enough weapon points over... By the way, I don't know if you can reset their stats or not. Probably you cannot reset their stats, so that's going to be a big problem if you don't know what to choose for them. Okay, we have spoken enough about this, but this should be enough to get you started on your journey. So now let's go and look at the galaxy screen, because I wanted to leave the solar system. So to leave to go to another system, you need the hypercore, which is... you obtain it by just doing all of the missions in that system. We'll remove the engine and we'll install it, so we need to install the hypercore. I guess this has no AI, or I don't understand how it's designed to work. So I want oxygen in all of the ship. So we'll replace that over there. Now I actually have enough room for my gym as well. The engines are mostly for the combo, like I said. And that room over there had a combo as well from the engine, sadly. Now let's see how we go to another galaxy, because I never tried this before. I guess we can patrol the Soul Hypergate. Yeah, let's patrol it, probably fight pirates. And then we can choose to go to another... Oh, that's such a tiny ship, oh, come on. So tiny. And I think to go to another galaxy you need to install the hypercore, and then you just select the center of another galaxy, or another solar system to be more precise. So based on the current league you are in, you'll also get a minimum reward. So just, you know, fight a lot, go to a higher league. As you can see, you're also upgrading. I'm not sure the point is to go to another galaxy to be, or to another solar system. There's no information about the game whatsoever. That says unstable. I guess it might depend on other things if you can go there or not. Oh, my eyes. I'm not sure if I should go here or not. We don't have any hyper FTL cores, so I guess you just have to wait until they fill up. Yeah, okay, so now we see how that works. I guess that means we should always leave the ship, the hypercore on the ship, so it recharges my things, and it will not always be available to travel anywhere like... Oh, okay. I guess we just have to go to the locations that have missions. So this one has a mission, so probably we should go from Earth to here, because here they have missions for us. We can shoot diplomacy and some other stuff. Exploring Damerung. Interesting. So that's how you're supposed to move between galaxies. Is there a point to doing it? I'm not sure yet. I guess it's a point to do the missions, if it's possibility or not. All the missions will give better rewards later. Oh yeah, so let's look at another ship layout so you can compare them. They protect their shield, they protect their reactors, but they don't protect the lasers, which is kind of the point I was making about people not protecting the lasers at all almost. If I would target the reactors, they'll be much harder to destroy. Plus, their crew members will just go and repair them anyway. Also, there are some overpowered builds, so based on their science, depends on what they... Oh, they're targeting the reactors. Let's see what they do over here, yeah. They had no chance of destroying the reactors anyway. They killed some of my crew members, but that's kind of that. Now we're in the 1800 scale. Again, it depends. As you can see, most people are upgrading their stuff, so if you catch them off guard like that, it will be very easy to destroy them. I think this is currently the ship layout that I'll keep for a very, very long time. I don't think I want to put anything over there. Probably I'll try the Academy. If I remember correctly, or if I understand this correctly, the Academy has a higher chance of training your troops, while the gym doesn't have a much of a chance unless you upgrade it. So training seems to be a success or a fail type of deal based on the current training skill of the building or other factors. Yeah, I guess you just have to wait until you have FTL capacity. Don't feel it. I will just assume that if you remove the room, it will not reload anymore. So I'll just keep it over there. Does this room have any combos or anything? No, just from the armor. Yeah, I'm a bit sad that I had to give away the engine because that means 10% less damage for this over here. Yeah, we can also experiment with different ammo types and some other stuff, but like I said, it really depends on how you are attacking, how you are defending, what the enemy has, what tier they are. And with the excess resources, I mostly just upgrade the other characters. I guess it's time to upgrade this guy. Even though it's not really worth it. So, at around level 15, you should probably stop upgrading them because the cost is too expensive. I guess this is also a thing they don't really teach you. When they reach level 15 and they get their other trade points or their other bonuses, that's kind of it. It is no longer viable to upgrade them any longer unless you have access to a lot of resources. As for the research, well, it's a bit of a discussion what you should research, but I'll have to do more fitness research so I can academy. So this is for the academy, this is for the gym. I'll have to do more research with these things so I can train my crew members much better and much faster. Or I should probably just choose something to fight, or I can also choose the intergalactic commerce to trade stuff. And over here, as you can see, we'll have more stuff available to us with more droids. Designs for the scout classer. Ender. I guess at level 5 you'll get the interesting stuff. I'm not sure what this means if you unlock another ship or not, or if you get better stuff overall. I guess modularization also be a big upgrade, so yeah, probably just upgrade whatever I can, wherever I can, and then I'll go for modularization, and then I'll have to look into these things over here. Including the battle droids and the service droids, probably get a room to make droids. We'll also get rooms to make ships or to make attack ships on our ship. Yeah, it's kind of a nice game, but it's basically no explanation given. That's kind of it. I'm kind of a bit disappointed by the game because it was barely working until this point. So many people who are playing kind of either quit or just are waiting for other stuff to happen. Let's look at the fleet screen a little bit as well. I'll do more videos to showcase more. By the way, you have to click on the... this is a little bit annoying. Click on Sol. And then you can click on the mining operations. And then you can start to mine with your drone. Guys, we don't have anything else to upgrade on our ship right now. That's iron fragment. Not sure the differences, but you have iron fragments and then you have iron scrap. And probably this will be used to build stuff. Or I don't know. I don't remember exactly from the first game what we can do. So it's a big part of the game to just deploy your mining drones. What I heard people want gold, but apparently there's no gold. Also, this is variable, as you can see. Sometimes it will be 3 hours, sometimes it will be 2 hours. Okay, all of the drones deployed. So before I log off, I want to make sure everything is working at full power, so all of the drones are working. Yeah, by the way, just buy drones as fast as you can. It doesn't matter if you are a free-to-play player or if you're actually putting some money into the game. Just buy them either way. This is the most important thing you can buy. Drones, and then after you are filled up with 4 slot drones, you can just buy your first tier 5 crew member, which will always have 5 stars. I think this most people get this cadet over here. And that's kind of it. I'll continue to play the game, but it's kind of a slow grind and you don't understand many details, and many of the things you do understand are kind of hidden. Especially when it comes to the fleet and some of the other stuff. But mostly, I guess I should have started with this. The most important thing is that you're in a fleet and you're doing your battles every day, because that will mean you're in a better league, which means you get better rewards, which means you get more bucks. So, the individual. I think I got put into the league, but then I got kicked out because I lost too much. So, to enter the silver rank, you need at least 1,700. That also will give you the match reward 12,000. And if you're in the top 4 days left, see over here. If you're in the top 3, you'll get a lot of bucks. If you're top 2, 75. If you're the first one, you'll get 100 bucks. So as you can imagine, the more you climb in this ladder over here, the more money you'll get at the end of the period. So 4 days left, which means you'll get at least 8, which is not a lot. And I think the same applies for the fleet. I'm not sure how the fleet one works because it's not mentioned anywhere. No, so what? I guess the game started earlier. Maybe the game was started earlier in the... Oh, yeah, good luck getting those many trophies. The game was probably started earlier on mobile. There's no way you can make that many points with your league, so... meh. It's a bit of a sad gameplay loop for now. I hope the developers add more content and they make the game more unique and they fix all of these small issues. And they give you more gameplay options. Oh, by the way, that's the drone mining over there. It's a good game, but it has so many issues and so many things that are not explained. And to be honest, it's so easy to make a few mistakes that will basically delete your entire progress or make your progress super slow for the rest of the game. Well, I guess I made some mistakes with my commander. I think I gave him damage a couple of times. But I guess that's okay, because he can equip a lot of trinkets and other stuff, so he will be good against borders. Also, I think I also gave him piloting skills by accident because I didn't understand how the system worked or other things, but I guess it will be okay because you repair faster and he'll give us a lot of points when he levels up, but definitely your commander should have weapon and damage and HP mostly. The other stuff that I gave him are kind of bad, sadly. Anyway, don't think too much about it and have fun. Bye.